I just wanted to give you a few of my thoughts on prayer. Now, of course, this is my opinion, so I do not represent anyone except myself, and this is not necessarily advice, but just my opinion. So, I just want to say that it's obvious, at least to me, and many people I know who see this as well, that we live in a very demonized world, right? Every institution has been infiltrated and, how shall we say, poisoned from within, okay? And we must be on our guard at all times. We must realize what's happening. This invisible war against the people of Christ. It's a spiritual war at its core, and but it has very real physical consequences. Okay, so watching what you eat, watching what you drink, watching what you put into your mind. TV is mind control and filth, brainwashing for the most part. Especially newer television. Though the old television had, the same kind of nonsense, but it's worse. Movies as well. Educational system has been, turned on its head. Yada, yada, yada. But what is it that can help us, navigate through all this? Well, it's prayer. All types of prayer, right? The prayer when you just pray from your heart. You need something, you want to help somebody, whatever, you pray from the heart. That's incredibly important. Or the prayer, where you open your prayer book and you say the prayers that are in there. So they're prepared prayers, right? A spontaneous prayer, you can say a prepared prayer. And of course, the rosary, very important to say, constantly. I say as many as I can in a day. And then also other prayers like chaplets, which I haven't done on the channel yet, which I'm going to do. Chaplets are fantastic to say. They're mini rosaries, for a particular saint or commemoration. So you can do that as well. But the point is that you do pray and that you're constantly in communion with the divine source. Because if you're not, the world is going to hijack you. It's going to hijack your mind. It's going to hijack your emotions. And you're going to just be poisoned. Okay? Poisoned to accept the filth of the world and think that it's good. Okay? It's very important that you stay in constant communion. Think of it like you're plugging into a battery, and God's the battery. You're the battery and God is the source, right, that charges the battery. So when you pray, there's that, exchange between you, God, back, forth. And then that helps you to get charged and to stay straight. Because if you don't, like I say, you're going to fall prey to some bad things. And, you wouldn't want that to happen. You might fall for the tricks that they put out, okay? You might think you're doing something good, but you're doing something very bad. People did some very bad things many years ago, and they regret it now, but it's too late. They're going to have to heal themselves as best as they can, but they were fooled. But if you're constantly praying, you will not be fooled. You will know. It's an inner knowing, okay? You want to develop an inner knowing. That intuitive voice, the inner knowing, just this still small voice that will tell you, do this, don't do that. This is the right way, this is the wrong way. And that's only developed through prayer. You have to, it's like, I'm trying to think, like when a radio has static, and you're trying to tune into the channel and you have all that static, well, you got to get rid of the static. And prayer gets rid of the static. The static is all the crap that's in your head from all your fears, your apprehensions, and your subconscious, from all the garbage you've been exposed to, and from other people that are around you. You're surrounded by people that are in a panic mode, especially if you're in a city. you're driving down the road and you're calm and peaceful, and the guy behind you is an absolute lunatic whose mind is out of control, and now you're affected by this person. So you're in a world where you have people around you who are just unbalanced, mentally and spiritually unbalanced. Now, of course, hopefully you're trying to gain mental and spiritual balance. Nobody's perfect, but you're affected by the people around you. So the prayer helps you stay like calm and on track, and get that poison out of your system, and you won't need pills for anxiety and shrinks for anxiety, and you go to God, and you keep calm that way. People neglect prayer. It should be constant. It says in the Bible to pray without ceasing, meaning you don't stop. Okay, yeah, you have your morning prayers, you have your evening prayers, you have your afternoon prayers, that's fine. But you should be praying all day. You should be talking to God 24/7, because He is your advisor, your best friend. Nobody's better. So therefore, do not stop talking to Him. Don't stop. Never stop. Okay? If you talk to yourself, you're talking to God. You say, Lord, blah, 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 as if He's right next to you. That constant talking keeps that channel open, and His graces come through to you, and you get the info you need. Okay, and of course you should stay in a state of grace to also keep that dialogue. So make sure that you're receiving the sacraments, you're going to Mass, preferably Latin Mass, confession, preferably confession at the Latin Rite, marriage if you get married, right? I just want to say you should try to do that in the Latin Rite, by the way. That's just a little side note. But in staying in a state of grace, you want to, of course, go to confession, receive the sacraments regularly, and try to patrol yourself and keep yourself under control. All right, and eliminate from your life all garbage that's dragging you down. Okay, whether it's in the occult, if you have occult things around, get rid of it. You're watching stuff that shouldn't be watching, get rid of it. Taking things in your body you shouldn't be doing, get rid of it. You're undisciplined, lazy. Stop. You got to become more disciplined. Stop smoking. Okay? Stop drinking. That shows more discipline. And if you can control yourself, you control your mind. But patrol your thoughts, your emotions. Keep them in the right place. Because the enemy is going to use all this against you to drag you down. You don't want to allow this. It takes time. You can't expect perfection overnight, but at least make an effort to try little steps, baby steps, and you can get somewhere. So the first thing is always pray. And when you always pray, you'll be guided. No one has to tell you what to do. It starts to happen. You get that inner knowing, and you'll know what to do. Oh, this has to go out of my life. That has to come into my life. I got to do this more. So anyway, these are just my little thoughts on prayer and how important it is. And I really urge you to do it. And especially now, we're in a world where we're on the verge of a very big major war in the world. Like, this is no joke. In America, we're being pushed into, social chaos and unrest and all this kind of thing. I mean, you have to see it. Society has disintegrated. It's deteriorating. Okay? And you can't ignore it. And, live like, you're in like a never land. Oh, yeah, it'll be okay. Well, yeah, it'll be okay if you have faith in God. But if you don't, you're going to have trouble. Because God's going to keep you good, or at least get you through the storm. But, you have nothing to stand on, man. Like the house built on sand, you're going down. You're going down big time. Your house has got to be on rock. God's the rock. Christ Himself said this. If you know the Bible, you know what I'm talking about. So that's what I would recommend, that you start now to pray all the time. Make it a discipline. I know you have things to do. I know you're busy, but there's no reason why you can't cook, clean, and pray. You can do it at the same time. You can fix your car praying. You can garden praying. You can be at work praying. There's no excuse. You make the time. You find the time. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope these words make sense, and maybe they offer you something of value. All right? Take care.